Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Peter Jennings, and I go by CSURAM88 across the daily fantasy industry, and I'm back again here at FantasyLabs doing another model preview. It's for the Tour Championship, which is bittersweet. I've had a ton of fun playing golf this year, and this is kind of the end of the season, or it is the end of the season. Definitely different how golf works because it does go kind of year round, but for the PGA Tour, this is the finishing event, the last event in the FedEx Cup. And in addition to that, it's a big week for me in that I have two of the final 30 entrants in the DraftKings Golf Championship. It's been a ton of fun playing that tournament. Kudos to DraftKings for setting it up. It worked just like the FedEx, and basically you move players along based on how, based on the same format that the FedEx Cup had. So it's a Survivor-style tournament. This is it. This is for where it's more of a GPP than a Survivor-style contest. And it's tough because there's, obviously a lot of the really good DFS players in it. And, we have a 30-person field with a no-code event with the best players in the world. So it's tricky to find a big advantage. But I've done some things here on FantasyLabs. I think it can at least point to things that might give you a small edge, even in a smaller field with no cut. So looking here at my model, I have a similar model to what I've done in the past, and that I have my base in there, but I actually took out a lot of stats that I normally bake in. I normally bake in driving distance or driving accuracy, but at the same time, I'm struggling on a course fit here. It's a longer par 70 from everything I've seen, and I think that, even talking on the podcast with Colin, driving accuracy might be a slight advantage, but definitely long iron play is going to be critical here. So I decided not to weight it at all because I think it's tough, and I wanted to give big weights to just a couple things. So I have long-term adjusted round at 32 points, then no other stat except long-term birdie score at 17 points, which is really just chasing scoring. And all these golfers are great. All of them are good scores relatively because they're, these are some of the best players in the world. We should have theoretically 30-ish of the top, 40, 50 guys in the world, and that's kind of what we have here. And, you just want to chase birdies out of these elite guys. So that's something I have weighted. Scrolling down, I have recent green regulation score at 36 points, which is something I always have. Again, I think this is a critical aspect of capturing basically current form. I've talked about it a ton on these previews and in my pods, and so has Colin and Brian. Putting has a ton of variance, and it's a bit of a noisy stat, at least in the short term. I can buy long-term putting stats more than short-term putting statistics. So scores can be skewed by, a couple lucky events if you're just looking at the recent scores. So what I really like to look at is the recent green regulation score, because that captures the really good ball strikers, at least currently. You can't be hitting a ton of greens without hitting the ball, on the fairway around it and making a good second shot. And I think this is a great thing to put into your models, and it's something I've done every single week, and it's a huge part of my model. And this week, even with a different format, it's no different. Scrolling down again, I don't really have anything weighted, and I have recent birdie score at 5. I think even recent birdies are a little bit noisier than long-term, so I have long-term weighted higher. Then I have course adjusted round at 10 and nothing else. So not as many weightings, and it still backtests relatively well. So let's take a look here. We have Adam Scott, number 1. I really like him just in general this week. He's been incredibly hot if you look at his game log in the FedEx Cup, which in general, there actually is correlation with guys heating up and playing well. 3 straight fourths. I think this is a great spot for him. He does extremely well, and he has done extremely well recently with par 4 scoring, which is another critical thing. So Adam Scott is one of my favorite plays. Paul Casey's an intriguing one. I played Paul Casey initially, but the one thing you have to look at here is the rise in salary. The Travelers is kind of an outlier because the field wasn't as strong, and his price was really high. But normally he's a mid to high 7s golfer. He's been playing so well that he's a low to mid 8s, but his current form has boosted him all the way to 9,500, which is very high. He hits a ton of greens is one of the reasons I like him. And his green regulation percentage just in general is off the charts. You can see his recent GIR is 74.5. Only person better is Adam Scott. So I think he's a really intriguing play. The only concern I have is I think you're buying a little high on Casey, but we'll see where his ownership is. Next big thing you have to decide is who do you want to play, Rory or DJ? You can make an argument for both. I think the bigger narrative is for DJ. If I had to pick someone straight up, I think you have to go Dustin Johnson. Maybe it's short-term bias from last year when Spieth kind of had the perfect year. Seems like that's the case for DJ this year. Getting the major and then winning the FedEx Cup certainly makes sense to me. And he's been playing incredible and definitely has the length and accuracy with the long irons to play well here. So those are tough decisions. Then an even tougher decision, and he's ranking extremely well in the model, is Jason Day at 10-3, who withdrew on Sunday in the last tournament. So I don't know exactly what to do. I've looked up some quotes. Jason Day said himself he's, quote, cautiously optimistic. But it's a back injury. He's dealt with those before. It's tough. Then we have a couple of the value guys that I don't mind. Duffner, I think of more as a cut maker, but he's been playing very well. And then probably my favorite play is Emiliano Grillo. I think he's going to be one of the highest owned golfers in this golf championship. But I can't fade him now. I don't think. Maybe I'll fade him on one team, but there's no way I'm not going to have him on either. He's been my favorite golfer this year. And I think he's paid big dividends. He's been someone who's rated really well in this model, along with Henrik Stenson throughout the year, which is cool since they both have had great years. JB Holmes, next guy. I think that, if you want to buy the distance thing and the birdie making, he's right up there. I'm sure some guys will take him because of that. And I'd certainly understand that aspect with JB Holmes, a player that I'm considering quite a bit. Kevin Na, another kind of player similar to Duffner. I think Na and Duffner are very, very similar, and I think both are good plays. Gary Woodland, Colin talked about. Roberto Castro, a play that I saw some sharp guys on last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. More expensive relative to, he's not the cheapest guy, and if you put all these players in a field, if you looked at a tournament previously and all these guys were in there, he'd be one of the cheaper guys. Pretty much at the bottom, but he's played well recently and his price has caught up, especially last week. So this is someone that Colin liked quite a bit initially, and I think he's an intriguing play this week. Bubba Watson, another guy to chase with the distance. Kuchar, Spieth in that elite conversation. I mean, every one of these guys has some merit, which makes it a really tough week. Just a couple quick notes on some other guys. I like Daniel Berger quite a bit. I also like Matsuyama and Schwartzel. And the one player that I'm still trying to figure out, I guess there's two. My guy that I'm more on than Colin and the other guys here at Fantasy Labs is Justin Thomas. I just like Justin Thomas in a spot where I think he can make a lot of birdies, especially on par fours. And then in addition to that, Kevin Kisner is a guy that I'm not quite as high on, but Colin has rated really well, and his price is certainly enticing. So hope this is helpful for you guys. I'll be back with these model previews again when we have some good PGA tournaments up again on DraftKings. And please give me any feedback on Twitter. If you guys want to see anything different going forward for PGA, definitely let me know. And I am doing these model previews for the NFL if you're dabbling in that too. So with that, good luck to everyone. And of course, hoping to see more Fantasy Lab subscribers at the top of the leaderboard.